It's your girl, 𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏, back with another video on today. And let me tell you something. We are in the twilight zone. We got senators shaking in a headstand. You know what I'm saying? We got portals opening. We just got chaos. And I feel like I use that word all the time when I'm talking to y'all. It's like, what is going on? I really truly believe that people are losing their minds out here and we are just bearing witness to it. And if you are one of those people who are just doing everything in your power to preserve your sanity and then you watch the things around you, you're like, wowzers.
Wowzers.
People are nuts. Like, my God. My God. But anyways, because of that fact, even when you look at religious texts, right, they all describe like an end of days portion of the timeline. And even if you're not someone who actively looks into that kind of thing, you're still affected by the things that happen and that you're experiencing with the collective. And truly, it's like, is that where we are right now? The end of days? Because let me get off that though. But anyways, as you can see from today's title, today I'm here to talk to y'all about how we can raise our frequency. In the meantime, in between time, while everyone else loses their we have ours together. And in a world where there's so much negativity and like that's where people choose to reside, it's up to you as an individual to choose another frequency. Because with everything that takes place and the shifts that we're going through entirely right now, it is paramount that you regulate your emotions, that you regulate your spirit, that you keep your vibration in check. We on the higher timelines on this side. No low vibrational stuff on this side, okay? Keep it up. Keep the vibes up here, okay? Okay. Now, the reason it's so important is because we're constantly consuming, whether it's from the food that we eat to the media that we take in, something that'll just jolt you, that'll have you feeling crazy inside if you let it. And so alongside us using our locs as spiritual protection, we also make deliberate efforts to maintain a high frequency. Yes? Yes? Relate? Relate. Okay. All right. So you have to ask yourself, what are you connecting to? What do you spend your time doing? What kind of conversations are you engaging with? Who do you have around you? You know what I'm saying? Where are the vibes coming from? Because that's just going to determine exactly where you are and where you need to be, if anything. Okay? Because you have to be diligent out here. You must. So I'm going to let y'all know what I do typically, because I'm not always high vibrational. I'm a human being. Things affect me as well. And I have to also tune myself every single day, sometimes multiple times throughout the day. You know what I mean? So I've compiled a list. Y'all know I love me some lists of different things you can do in your own life, in your own world, to keep that vibe elevated and uplifted and transcendent above all that ratchetry. Okay, it's above me now. I'm up here. Yo, it's hot. So one of the things that I do as a content creator, I've been employing the whole post and go approach. By that, I mean on my social medias, yes, I had to be present on them for my brand and the things, but I also don't need to be engulfed in them so much that I'm just scrolling. So what I do is I'll set up my posts, put it out there, and then I will dip. And sometimes I'll even like log out, like officially log out, or for iPhone users, you know the vibes, uninstall that app and keep it uninstalled for like a day or a couple days, just so that I'm like deliberately focusing my attention on my environment and what's going on within me, and not so much on needing my numbers to be a certain way or looking at the comments and reading things and like, I'm just like, because one thing about social media, although it's a beautiful place for people to come together, it's also toxic sometimes. It's like, whoa. It's too much going on with people that I don't need to have access to that information all day, every day, okay? My brain, I cannot. So that's one of the things that I tend to do. And usually around the weekend as well, I'll like try to do that, either log out or uninstall, so that I'm making more of an effort to be immersed in things like being present in nature or an activity or linking up with people, like vibing one-to-one. That's what I do. That's why I'm able to like kind of be in my own little bubble, and people will be like, oh my gosh, did you hear about such and such? I'm like, no, I didn't. And they be all stressed out and I'm all like, can't relate. Can't relate to that energy right now. I'm I'm holding a vibe on this side. You see what I'm saying? The only thing that I'll keep logged into my phone is YouTube, interestingly enough. Because on YouTube, you have more control over what's coming into your space. You know, that's where the algorithm works in your favor. It's like, this is what I'm searching for, and therefore I am being met with more videos like that, as opposed to something's going on over there and it's being bombarded into your space unsolicited. You even asked for this, and now it's in front. You know what I mean? So I keep my YouTube open, so that's something you can do as well. Get some more SammyDaGawd in your life for the vibes, all right? Another thing I love to do, touch the grass. What?
What? What the fuck?
What do I mean? Literally put your foot bottom in the grass, okay? Electromagnetic currency. We already know the vibes. We, how do you say, energetic beings need to be plugged into an energetic source, just like a phone needs a charger. And one of our ways of doing so is to either tap into the sunlight or tap into the earth. Feet down in the ground, okay? Touch some grass and activate yourself, charge up, receive some information, but also it's like a purging of all of the nonsense and more of a receptivity to like pure vibes, good vibes, genuinely aligned energy for you. You know what I'm saying? So do that. Another thing, get active. You got to move your body. Ooh, move your body, girl, makes the fellas go. The way you ride it, girl, makes the fella go. Shouts to Nina Sky. What they doing? What are they up to? Y'all know? If y'all know what Nina Sky is up to, let me know in the comments, because I have not heard of them girls in years. But yes, get active, move your body. And I say this all the time in any of my like mental or spiritual wellness videos. So I don't even have to go in about it. You know the vibe. Get busy, do things, get the energy moving. It's like an automatic switch. Like you can go from feeling pretty low and like sluggish to feeling activated, and endorphins are pumping, and oh my goodness, I am tired as hell, but you know what I mean? At least I have life within me to keep me moving. So get active, touch grass. Have outlets for yourself outside of like media consumption. So for me, for example, one of my outlets is I'm in a book club with a whole bunch of awesome ladies, and we have all of the conversations, okay? Or like I'm participating in a fitness challenge, which contributes to the get active vibes. So I get to be held accountable and like brought back to my body and not distracted by the internet. Linking up with my friends or family, catching up with people in person, though person to person, one-to-one or several to one. You got to have real life interactions with people so that you can stay in a space of connectivity, because we are wired for that, and that's something that we crave so deeply, but we're not always able to access it in the way that we desire. And so the easiest fix is to just pick up a social media app and just be in there, but it's not a real connection that you're having. It's all more of an illusion. I try to have more in-person or verbal, like audio or visual, like a FaceTime or something like that. Another way for me to speak directly to people in my life who like pour vibes into me and I pour vibes into them, and it's like a good give and take relationship. That always gets my vibes elevated. Like every time, without a doubt, it's lit. Here's another thing you should do. Definitely audit this, okay? Tend to your spirit. We get so consumed in the physical and we forget that we're literally spiritual essence being carried around in a physical case. Like you can't only focus on
Now, y'all take that.
This part. You gotta focus on the inside of you, the spirit, the life force within you. You gotta give it attention as well. So one way that I tend to do that is I'll like think to myself, and this is if I'm in a lower vibrational space and I need to transmute, what area am I feeling a void, right? So let's say, for example, you are missing, I don't know, romance in your life, like some kind of romantic interaction in your life. Let's say you're in a relationship, but it's kind of starting to fizzle. Tap into that and find a way to pour into it. If you're single, pour into yourself. And if you're like technically single, but you're also involved, like you're dating and doing that, pour into that connection. Like for me, I'm in the technically single category. So sometimes for me, what I will do is if the person I'm dealing with crosses my mind and I feel an actual like desire to talk to them, I'll just send a vibe real quick. Like just send a message of whatever it is that I'm thinking about, or like, I don't know. It's hard to explain because it's like you're in the moment, so you do it.
Well, basically, the question of the night is, do you feel a vibe with me and you?
A vibe?
Yeah, like, are we vibing?
I just met you.
You know.
Pretty much whenever they come to your mind and you feel that desire to talk to them, send them something. Just say something. Like, instead of, what we tend to do is you'll think about somebody and you'll kind of hold it to yourself. And you're like, well, if they haven't hit me up, why am I gonna hit them up? Kind of thing. Is like our ego tries to protect ourselves from rejection or that vulnerable feeling of reaching out to someone. But F all that. The world is in shambles. We don't have time to be like holding back our feelings for people based off of how we think it seems to, like, no, cut it out. Just follow your heart for real. Like, if something's on your heart that you want to say, or something has crossed your mind that you want to address it. Pour into that connection. Find a way to like let it off and share it with them. And sometimes even what I'll do is like, I'll send a message that doesn't require a response immediately. Like one of those, hey, you know, I don't know, just crossed my mind. I hope you're having an awesome day because you're fire, or some shit like that. Send, and then I'm gone from that conversation. We don't have to continue the back and forth. I don't have to sit here and wait for you to respond, because my intention was just to share a vibe, like to hold a vibe.
But what's the slickest way to slide into a DM, Chris Brown?
Send her the eyes and say, God sent me here.
Yo! And clap or a fire emoji. Man, so they could just say
sometimes you put the basketball, but dot basketball. Like, man, how my ball get in your yard? Can you throw it back? Come on, you gotta try it, man.
Game, y'all. This is game.
It's kind of like that selfless kind of feeling of you give, but you're not holding on to the expectation of receiving exactly this in this amount of time. Like, you just send it out there and let it do its little magic, and it feels good. It's like these are things that activate that excitement within you. It's more so stimulating, and these are the things that get your body moving, get your blood pumping. Feels good, feels nice. Frequency up where? Up here. Okay. Ooh, here's another one. Find a way to break up the monotony in your life. What do I mean? Like, okay, we have our routines and we do them every day, and you kind of get used to just going through the motions sometimes and detaching a little bit. But if you are in a space where you're working on raising the frequency, you have to find an opportunity in your day to kind of switch the style up, do something different from the routine. Okay, maybe every day you have to do, I don't know, some tidying around in the house, or you got to go to work, for instance, or commute. Okay, these things are constant and you must continue to do them. However, throw something else in there that's not a constant. For example, what's something I do sometimes? Like, I'm gonna just go outside and lay on the grass. That's not a thing I do every single day, but when I'm like switching up the vibe, that's something I'll do. Or let me just randomly hit up this person and see what they're doing and go link with them. Or let me play this album. Like, ooh, the Chris Brown album is out and I heard it's a bop, so let me go play that. I feel like doodling today. Let me go color. I'm just having random examples come to my mind. But whatever that looks like for you, something that changes up the routine in your day-to-day so that it like gives you something more interesting to do, more exciting to do. Just, you know what I mean? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Now, this one's important. Take your vitamins. Okay, you would be surprised how much will change in your life when you get the proper nutrients. And even if you're someone who does typically eat healthy, but maybe you're just lacking in certain areas. So for instance, for me, I know that sometimes I start to feel like a little bit lethargic, even if I've had like a full night's sleep and I'm eating healthily. And I've recently realized, I'm like, oh shit, I need to get my iron intake up. Like, that's not something I've been paying attention to as much. And once I started doing that, like, I've seen a shift in my energy. Or maybe you're feeling like a little bit low or sad or something like that. Maybe you need to get your vitamin D up. You know, maybe you need to actually get the supplement or find ways to spend more time in the sun so that it's produced within you. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm saying you know what I mean a lot in this video. Definitely cut out the overabundance of you know what I mean in the video. But yes, get your vitamins up, take your minerals, get it in your life so that you can feel a shift in your body, in your health, in your consciousness, and naturally it'll translate into your spirit. Ooh. Now, this is something that I know some people have a hard time with the concept because it's kind of like, well, I'm not a doctor, but here's what I'm gonna suggest to you. Learn how to diagnose yourself. And okay, hold up. Let me slow down. There's obviously levels to that, okay? But at the end of the day, you are the one inside of your body, so you should be in tune enough to be able to sense if something is off with you. And you're like, I'm feeling like my gut needs more attention. Like I need to focus on my gut health a little bit more, or I'm feeling a little hazy. Maybe my mind is a little clouded. What do I need to do about it? Like whatever it may be, you're supposed to be the one who notices that first before you just rely on someone else to tell you or someone else to diagnose it for you. Now, like I said, there's levels, because sometimes it could be something as serious as a medical intervention needs to take place, or even a therapeutic intervention needs to take place. But in order for you to even get to the point where those measures are being taken, what happens first? You have to notice it. Okay, so get more in tune with your inner guidance so that you can assign what is amiss within you, if anything, so that you can take the proper precautions to address it. Because when you do that, what happens? You start to feel a lot better in your own life because, okay, this is going on, but I'm taking control and I'm fixing it. And therefore, I'm starting to feel better. Final points. If you have negative people around you at all, like in any capacity, distance yourself or reduce those interactions as much as possible. And it can be tricky depending on who those people are. Like if it's coworkers, for instance, or a family member, or maybe someone you live with, like it can be very tricky when you realize that the people who are a part of my day-to-day are also the ones who are bringing me negativity all the time. So how do you remove yourself? It's like, how do I do that? This is where boundaries come up. And the reason why I say it's so tricky is because not everyone respects the idea of you having your own autonomy, you having your own set of boundaries around you. If they're in close proximity, they kind of feel like they're entitled to be able to be in your space, be on your time, be on your neck as much as they want to, because they have this level of access to you. They're your friend, they're your lover, they're your relative. Like there's something close enough that they feel that they're allowed. So this is where it comes to you to be clear and be like, no, I'm not saying no more if it comes up. If someone is presenting something to you that you're not feeling it, say no instead of trying to convince yourself to be with it or trying to make sure, oh, what if they look at me differently if I say no? No, start saying no. And you can do it gracefully. It doesn't have to be about it, but hold those boundaries. Be like, look, I can't participate in this, but I hope you enjoy yourself. I'm not going to be able to make it, but thank you for the invite. You know, there's ways to say no, but also keep it graceful so that you are keeping your boundary up and clear, but then you're also not like being a jerk about it. For instance, I had to do this with my dad the other day, and I love him. Like that's what I'm really close to my dad, my mom too. Everybody in my family, we close and I love him. However, I can only deal with people in doses sometimes. So I had to let him know. I was like, look, Dad, this is too much. I need you to chill. And he felt away, but I was like, okay, but you see what I'm saying though. You understand what I mean, and so I'm gonna need you to respect that. And I know it kind of sucks to hear that right now, but these are the vibes. I'm trying to describe the scenario without giving y'all too much of my business, but point being, hold your boundaries, respect your space, and demand that kind of respect from others. And it doesn't have to be like a rah-rah demanding. It just means you're being firm. I'm very protective of my energy, of my frequency, and because of that, I can't allow anyone to just do me any kind of way and treat me however they want to. No, the answer is no. We shut that down. Nip it in the bud. But yes, in a nutshell, these are the things I tend to do whenever I need to get my vibration elevated more and more and more. There's other things you can do too, like playing some good music, dancing around, going on a trip if that's within your means, you can do that. Being mindful of what you're ingesting, like maybe you need some more veggies in your life. But these are things I've already spoken about, so you should already know that. And if you don't, definitely run it back and watch my other videos where I talk about it. That's all I'm gonna say. But if y'all have any more suggestions of ways that you implement into your own life, things that you like to do to keep your vibe elevated out here in these Babylonian times, let me know in the comments. It's a community forum out here, and we're here to help each other. So with that being said, I'm gonna get out of here, turn on the air conditioning, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.